Okay, so strap in, everyone, because this week's Deep Dive is about Bitcoin. And
Yeah.
things have gotten interesting.
Really interesting.
Yeah, we got a listener request to dig into all the crazy Bitcoin news.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got 5 big stories
Uh-huh.
to unpack. So we'll be looking at everything from the crazy price swings this week
Oh, yeah.
to legal tender
Yeah.
changes, some central bank decisions, some critiques of U.S. crypto policies, and then some new accounting rules that are going to impact Bitcoin holdings.
Okay.
So we're talking about a country ditching Bitcoin as legal tender, a hedge fund
Mm-hmm.
throwing some serious shade at crypto enthusiasts, and then companies facing potentially huge tax bills thanks to their Bitcoin investments. So it should be a wild ride.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so first up, Bitcoin's price. It took a major nosedive this week,
It did.
bottoming out at $91,441.89.
Yeah.
So what's the story there?
Well, the U.S. just announced those tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China. And according to Reuters, that really spooked investors.
Mm-hmm.
It just sent like shockwaves through the global market.
Yeah.
And when investors get nervous, they tend to pull back
Okay.
from riskier assets.
Yeah.
Things known for price swings. And, Bitcoin is definitely one of those.
Yeah, it's like the poster child for price swings.
Totally.
So not surprising.
Makes sense.
Took a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had El Salvador reversing course on Bitcoin as legal tender.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It was just 2 years ago they were
Yeah.
super gung-ho about it, and now they're kind of like
The house back.
backpedaling a little bit.
Yeah. It was a bold move for sure, El Pais reported that their main goals were to increase financial inclusion and stimulate economic growth, but I think they ran into some major hurdles along the way.
Yeah.
Adoption rates just stayed really low. They were getting a lot of pushback
Right.
from international financial institutions.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how this will impact other countries that are
Yeah,
thinking about adopting Bitcoin.
totally like a cautionary tale.
Yeah, a little bit. So then on the other side of the world, we had the Czech National Bank floating the idea of adding Bitcoin to their reserves.
Oh, wow.
But the European Central Bank was like, "Nope, not going to happen."
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, their stance is clear-cut. Reuters quoted the ECB president, Christine Lagarde, saying that central bank reserves need to be liquid,
Yeah.
secure, and safe.
Which Bitcoin is not.
Yeah. Bitcoin's volatility and concentrated ownership just doesn't really
Right.
fit those criteria.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing how some are embracing it and others are just like, absolutely not.
Totally different perspectives.
And then there's Elliott Investment Management,
Okay.
this big hedge fund. They came out swinging
Mm-hmm.
against the U.S. government's stance on crypto.
Oh, really?
What's their take on this whole thing?
Well, their criticism is pretty harsh, as reported by MarketWatch. They basically said that a lot of crypto investors are acting more like sports bettors than serious investors.
Oh, wow.
Just highlighting that speculative nature that's
Right.
driving the market.
So they're not big fans.
No, they even warned about a potential crypto crash and
Right.
all the instability that could follow.
That's a pretty serious warning coming from a major player like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch gears a little bit
Okay.
to something that might directly impact you. As an investor,
All right.
the FSUNB, the folks who set the accounting standards,
Right.
they introduced new rules for how companies report their Bitcoin holdings.
Interesting.
This could be a big deal.
This is huge.
Yeah.
Investopedia broke down how this shift to real-time valuation is going to play out. And for companies like Tesla, who've put a lot of money into Bitcoin, it's good news.
Yeah.
They were able to report a $600 million profit.
Wow.
But on the other side, companies like MicroStrategy, who are holding a ton of Bitcoin,
Right.
they could be looking at a massive tax burden
Because of?
because of something called the corporate alternative minimum tax.
Oh, wow. I've heard of that.
Basically, even if those gains aren't realized yet, they could still be taxed as if they were.
So they're,
And we're talking billions of dollars, potentially.
yeah, billions with a B.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big swing from profit, too. Potential tax liabilities.
Huge swing.
Is this a sign of things to come for other companies that are holding a lot of Bitcoin?
I think it really adds another layer of complexity to this whole Bitcoin situation.
Definitely something to watch.
Yeah, keep an eye on it.
So we covered a lot of ground today. Bitcoin's price drop, El Salvador's policy shift, the ECB's firm, no hedge fund sounding the alarm, and these new accounting rules It's been a roller coaster of a week.
It has.
So what's your big takeaway?
I think for me, it's just so interesting how Bitcoin is being pulled in so many directions.
Yeah.
You have some embracing it, some rejecting it, and some just trying to figure out
Right.
how to manage it.
Yeah, it's a fascinating and volatile space.
For sure.
So much to think about. What are your thoughts after this deep dive into Bitcoin's roller coaster week? Do you think it's headed towards mainstream acceptance, or is it still too unpredictable? Let us know. We want to hear your thoughts and keep those deep dive requests coming. We'll be back next time to unpack another fascinating topic just for you.
Awesome.